Okay everyone, I'm here with my 2006 Nissan Titan XE 4x4 and I'm going to talk to you about the rear brake pads today. If you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out with my goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers. We're halfway there. So here we go. I've got the wheel already off. For this job you're going to need a 21mm socket. That's going to take your lug nuts off. You're going to need a 10mm socket and wrench, and you're going to need either a brake pad pusher tool, or in my case just a C-clamp, and sometimes a flathead screwdriver may help you. So you jack the truck up. You can see, use a jack stand for safety. You don't want your jack holding all that weight. In my case, I would normally not lift on the shock mount, but you can see I have a skid plate here that has reinforced that. So lift on the differential. Be careful not to hit the cover and pop your gasket off while you lift it. Get your truck in the air and secure it. Take the wheel off and you will see something that looks like this. I've already taken it apart. It will have the pads in it, obviously. There are two 10mm bolts. That'll be on the back here. And you're going to loosen those. They should be very loose, just hand tight. Take those out, and at that point your caliper is loose and free, but if it's as old and rusty as mine, it may be a little bit tight on there, and that is when I put my flathead screwdriver in very gently and just pry ever so slightly, putting pressure on the pad, and that will depress your piston a little bit and allow you to take the caliper off. At this point, don't have your caliper dangling by this soft line. That is the way to break that off and cause a bigger headache for yourself. The pads will come loose. One of them has this claw here. It holds into the piston, and then the front one has some little tabs as well that it holds onto the front of the caliper here. So you take those out, and in my case I have an additional issue. You can see the odd wear here. If you're seeing something like this, there is a bigger problem than just a brake change, and I will address that in a later video. So if you're seeing something similar to me, check out this latest video I'll have when the parts arrive for me to fix that. But if you're just doing a standard brake job, your caliper, or rather your rotor, should look nice and smooth, just like this little thin section, with even wear across the pads. They're probably worn out because you need new ones. So you're going to get your new set of pads, and you're going to set them in the caliper just how you found them. Your pads will come with some grease. You want to grease up your pins here, which will allow the sliding of the piston back and forth to pinch the calipers onto the rotor. And you're going to put it back together. This is where your compression tool comes in, though. This piston has come out some, you can see, because there's nothing holding it in. So what you're going to do first is put an old pad on there. Rather, use the one with the teeth, I guess. Put it on there, and then put your clamp on there and tighten that down, putting the pressure of the clamp on the old pad. That will depress your piston in the rest of the way, and you'll have a nice even surface here. Plenty of room to set both pads in place, get them secured. You're going to take your caliper, put it back on with your new pads on, and at that point tighten down your 10mm bolts. It doesn't take a lot of torque. I don't know the exact specs, but I usually just put a little bit on with my hand and we're good. At that point, put the tire back on, get in the truck. Do not just roll away. You're going to start the truck and depress the pedals several times, and you'll notice that pressure is not there immediately because you've been pushing on these pistons. Make sure that you have full pressure before you roll the truck, and see if you perhaps need to top off your fluid. So there you go. That is a brake change on the rear brakes of a 2006 Nissan Titan XE. If you're having odd wear patterns, look for a future video on that. And as long as I'm at it, I'm probably going to be flushing the system here in the next little bit. I will produce a video on that. So look for those forthcoming, and thanks for watching, everyone.